In this episode, I'm going to be taking a look at this classic collector figure set from the original Star Trek TV show. And a lot of these Star Trek Playmates toys that came out in the early 90s, a lot of these toys were from the Next Generation. Some of them were from Deep Space Nine. And there were a few waves that did focus on the original series. I have a lot of these Playmates figures that are in this scale. Now, Playmates did make a larger scale of these figures, and I did get some of those into the shop. If you don't know, I've just opened up a toy shop in the last 8 months, and I've been getting things in. So I do a little bit of video over there when I get some stuff. So if you want to check out when I got this stuff in, and you can watch that video on my other channel, Retro Lab 82. So I got this into the shop, and I got a whole bunch of carded figures of the larger scale figures. But in my collection of these Playmates figures, I don't have any of the original series figures. And there came those other figures, like I said. I think those are figures, they're like 7-inch figures from the movie. But this is a collector's edition. This is 122,642 of 150,000, which was a lot. But what intrigues me about this is that you've got this wonderful box, even though this box is in really bad condition. You know, it's broken on the top and stuff. But you've got this kind of crazy display. If you would have seen this in the toy store, you know, this would be hard not to want to get. Now, my question is this display inside, can we take this out and use this as a cardboard display? Now, I noticed that the figures are in plastic bubbles, and those plastic bubbles do look like they've been adhered to the cardboard playset. So that's going to suck if I can't get these out without ruining the playset. I don't have any of these figures, so I didn't keep these in the shop. Sometimes you get stuff in that you just would like to have. And the classic Star Trek is the Star Trek for me. That's the one that I did watch over and over and over and over again over the last, 5 decades. And I really wanted these figures. So, and now I have them. It doesn't look like they have any accessories or anything. I'm not really sure. I've never had this before. It's limited edition, it says. Here's the side, if you want to look at the classic shot of everybody. And you can see here, it was at Walmart at $44.95. Now, there are some other tags here, so I don't know if it was more money and then they put another tag on it. I don't know what's going on, but there's 2 different tags here. This says 44, so I don't know if it's just the same tag and they just had to re-tag it because the tags fell off. But if we look at the back, it's a really nice presentation here. It looks to me like all of the figures do come with a communicator. It says included with each figure, a classic communicator, a classic Type 2 hand phaser, and you got some classic Starfleet action bases, which all these Playmates figures did come with. You can see here, this was released in 1993. The other side, same picture. And then we've got the top. You can see the Enterprise there. And on the bottom, let's take a look at the bottom. This is what we have in the bottom. So let's see if we can get this out and see if this is this display can be saved as a classic display for the figures. There, we got that old ratty box out of the way. We can take a look at it here. It does have some issues inside here. There's something going on here. Kind of interesting. Now, there's all the goodies. So, is this a displayable piece? I think it is. I think, from what I can see, is they have cardboard. They've doubled up on the cardboard on this. You can pull this cardboard out. This is really cool. You can pull this cardboard out with the figures taped to it, and you have a different cardboard display in behind it. Same with this here. I noticed that there is a way to get this out, and there's another display right behind it. I think there's some tape holding it, so I'm going to get that tape out there. So I think now that that tape is cut, should be able to pull these out like this. Some more tape here. Now most people back then probably would have just tore this apart, get the figures out, and would not have realized that if you take your time and cut all the tape out, this was actually a display, just like that. So you'll see here that all the figures come with the exact same phaser and communicator. And they also come with a stand. Now the stands look the same, but they have a different symbol on them for each color of the characters. There's 3 gold shirts, there's 2 blue shirts, and there's 2 red shirts. They don't give you like a salt shaker for Dr. McCoy or anything like that. But I think they give you everything that you need. So I'm going to get the figures. I don't have the figures out yet. Let's take a look at the figures. So here they all are in the playset. They look really good. There is some weird things about these figures that I want to point out. And they do hold their phaser pretty good. And their communicator. Now, Chekhov here, he can't hold his communicator in the left hand. He has to hold it in the right hand. Their hands are a different mold. They're not the exact same mold from right to left. So the thing that I noticed about this guy, Captain Kirk, is he's got kind of more of an open hand. So he would only be able to hold one or the other, probably in the left hand. Go over there. I don't know what he's doing with that hand, but I don't think it is in a way that he'll be able to hold anything. And then you'll see that on all of these, where all of their hands have a little bit of a different mold from left to right. her hands are pretty much exactly the same, but they're much smaller than the other guys, so I'm not really sure. Let's see if she can even hold. Yeah, she's not even able to hold a gun. So her hands are too small to hold a gun. So not very consistent. But I mean, the figures look really good. The paint is really nice. And they have an arm swivel, but it's unfortunate that they don't have a leg swivel. And I have a lot of these Playmates figures, and I'm not really sure. I've never really posed them sitting down, but because of this playset, he's got the captain's chair here, and when you do that, he can't sit. Well, he can sit, but it doesn't look natural. It looks kind of crazy. It kind of reminds me of the old and the new Indiana Jones figures that we have been getting. Well, I've been getting a couple of them. Now this is wave 3, I think. And I find that they've kind of fixed that. They haven't made it as crazy of an angle for the sit down position. So these are better than the first 2 waves, I think. Unlike these guys, at least these guys can sit down, but Captain Kirk there, he looks like he's having a hard time. But I will say that the likenesses of these characters are really good. I mean, they look like the actors from the original TV series. They look like them, but with that kind of that Playmates playful kind of look. The only other figure that has a different hand mold is Spock, and you can see how they molded his hand with that Vulcan greeting. So that is really cool. I like that. That is a excellent detail to this figure. I was surprised when I got it out and looked at that. Does he look like Leonard? Kind of. Kind of has that Leonard Nimoy look. So it's really cool. Now, like I said, we've got 2 blue shirts, 2 red shirts, and 3 gold shirts. And if we look at the stands here, you'll see that there's 3 symbols for the gold shirts, 2 different symbols for the red, and then we've got 2 different symbols over here for the blue. So I think this is a really cool playset. I think it was smart of them to do what they did with the cardboard. When you take it out, you could get the figures off without ruining the back, because they added an extra second layer to that. And I like this. I think it's really cool that we can set these up. If you've got the room, you can set these up on display. And if you have other figures, you can put them in here. I would really like to have Khan, if they made Khan, and I'd put Khan in here somewhere. I just really wished that they had put an upper leg swivel on this instead of just having a arm swivel. They could have done that in the legs, and then you could have been able to sit him like that and then swivel his leg in the sitting position, and it would have looked really good. But other than that, I really like these figures. I think they're really cool. I probably won't have him sitting down. So thanks for watching this episode of Toysbackzen. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you have, I thank you for your support. If you haven't, please just hit that subscribe button. It's free and it helps me out. I noticed that about 85% of you guys that are watching my channel haven't subscribed, so just hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate that. Other than that, please leave a comment and let me know what you think of this playset and these figures. It says it's limited edition, but I'm not sure it's that limited. I think there's a lot of these out there now, but it's just cool to be able to have the cardboard playset. You're probably not going to find this because most of us probably threw it out in the 90s. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to my next video. Bye.